Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for a brand new episode of the Skylanders Imaginators Soul Seekers series here on the channel. If you recall, in the previous episode we acquired triple stars in the Sensei Underrealm in absolutely spectacular fashion because we barely were able to squeeze out those objectives. We won by an entire 3 seconds is what was remaining on the speedrun objective, if I remember so correctly. And now, as Wolfgang has already proven how overpowered he is, we're going to continue to be overpowered against opponents that cannot even fight back. Yes, we're going to destroy every single thing that lies in our way for one reason and one reason only, and really it's the only reason that matters in the first place. It's because they looked at me funny, so I need no better reason than that. But all of that having been said and done, let's enter into the Villa of Scholars. Without further ado, we're going to be pressing best button in the game, the skip button, because really in the Soul Seekers series, the narrative is not of the utmost importance. Why I happen to say it in that voice, I do not yet understand, or I do understand on the other hand. It's the fact that when an element pops up, I must switch out to a sky to correspond to the element. Cannot switch out again until the element of the area changes once more. So that basically means that with air now having popped up as the element of the area, I must switch out to airstrike. For his soul has both been seeked out and he is of the air element. Now it is time for grand selfie mode to be initiated. I know what you're thinking. You never have seen an utmost more glorious selfie in your life. And you'd be correct, that is the best selfie you ever have seen and ever will proceed to see. There's no point in ever making or taking selfies ever again because there's nothing that can possibly hold a candle to the might of Airstrike's selfie right now. Everything else by comparison would be so tame that it just wouldn't be worth creating in the first place. It's like movies. Why do we still even make movies anymore? I mean, we've already peaked with movies. You don't get any better movies than movies like How to Train Your Dragon 2 for Pete's sake. And yes, I am quoting How to Train Your Dragon 2 as my favourite movie of all time. Despite the fact that there are thousands upon thousands of movies out there and thousands of possibilities for my favourite movie. Despite the fact that there are objectively better movies, I do not care. How to Train Your Dragon 2 of all movies is my favourite movie. Let's be heading into the store right now. This is a very exciting 2 minutes. I've said a lot in 2 minutes. But here we go with yet another selfie. And you know what? Airstrike already had his turn. Now, what we need is this. Nothingness. If there's one thing greater than Airstrike taking an epic selfie, it is nothingness taking an epic selfie. Other way around for the let's stop that dial. And boom, we shut the room. We have a winner, alright. I mean, a chest has been added to the vault. Isn't that exciting? So let's pop over those because we can speed right through all this crap. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, baby! We can also speed right through Stealth Elves at Dalek right now by pressing best button in the game. First skip button, I'm going to turn down my headset because a large reason as to why my voice is so loud right now is because I literally cannot hear myself think. That was a narrow escape from that there cannonball. Well, now wasn't it? Fire is stronger here, but unfortunately we are yet to have seeked out a soul of the fire element. Hopefully that will change in due time, especially since Ember's soul can be seeked out in this level. But for now we got to unite all of these gems with Airstrike. That's if I can even do so successfully, which is a task I would say easily said and done, but it can't actually be done now, for I have failed the puzzle miserably. Because I have to go down here, and with a couple more moves I could have brought that gem up top there, left and back down again, but unfortunately with the position I was at there was no way to bring that gem down without also moving Gremlin down into the final piece of the puzzle right there.
Punks are looking for a fight, you sure found one.
Yeah, you tell him, Airstrike, you tell him. But that being said and done, we've now seeked out the soul of one Tri-Tip. We're going to preview this legendary character, quite literally too. We are going to be utilising Tri-Tip's legendary form rather than his regular form, because first of all, by comparison, his regular form is so boring, and second of all, it is because legendary Tri-Tip received the MVP honours of the Skylanders Imaginators Versus series. So what better way is there to honour the MVP of the Sensei cast from that series than to reflect him accurately in the Soul Seekers series, the series that obviously is preceding the Versus series. at least in form of the Imaginators video game it is. Obviously, I do have another series taking place at the moment, the Supercharged series. Now that's a fun one. Anyway, magic is stronger here. That's exactly what we could be doing with the Supercharged series as well, because in that series Populus has had very little opportunity, shall we say. But we are going to head down that, where senseis are stronger here, so we remain as Airstrike a little bit longer, because we haven't seeked out any souls for magic element. So really the only purpose of that secret island was making sure that we get the all areas found objective, as well as collecting that treasure chest. The fact that there's a treasure chest there does remind you to explore the area, so you get all areas found, as well as the collectible objective. It's an area that, in other words, I would very easily forget about if it didn't have a treasure chest. It would be good for Park Observatory all over again. Okay, let's draw you guys in to make sure you get pounded from at all angles. Yeah, here we go, that's what we're talking about. We are toying with these enemies right now. We are giving them almost false hope. You know, any hope at defeating Airstrike should instantly be thrown out the window the moment you see him charging at you with these incredibly legendary combos that just don't cease to exist now, dude. There is not a single frame of Airstrike's gameplay that does not involve some sort of combination of gameplay. Okay, that was fun. Now let's head in here, because I want to. Once again, the element of the area is going to be fire, but we are still yet to have seeked out any souls for the fire element. We are at least, however, going to find a legendary software frame for the bazooka class, and we are also going to defeat this guy at Creation Clash. The first time in this series we have actually got the name correct, I believe. Though I could have got it wrong, but it would have been on purpose. That's part of a joke, though, calling this Sky Stones when it's not actually Sky Stones, but it is Sky Stones. No, this is Sky Stones. It's just not what the game acknowledges it as. Oh, wow. Well, you're going to do that, Aria. Let's bring out a little bit of Toadpool. Yes, we got them alright, though unfortunately they're going to take it back. I am not okay with that. That is not okay. Let's bring out Barbella. Yes, now chain reaction shall be mine. Okay, that was a foolish play, because now I can utilize the might of Graveglobber and take Ember for ourselves. So we are going to win 6-3, or so as it can be simplified, 1-2, or 2-1 I should even say. For every one of his stones on the board, I had 2. That's how ratios work. So we won 2-1 simplified like. Okay, let's be gonging for Battle Gong. It's been gonged, or you know, specifically it's been ring-a-ding-dinged as Airstrike has put it. So it's time for absolutely everything in front of us to be obliterated. Now this is obliteratory gameplay if I ever have seen it. I am very much enjoying this right now. This puts a smile on my face. And up the birdie goes. Yes, let's destroy them all. Every last one. I mean, we destroyed those guys quicker than we even started the battle, for Pete's sake. That was over before it even begun. It was so fast, it blew by my very eyes. I wasn't even able to comprehend how quick those enemies were obliterated, you could go as far to say. That's why it feels like it was over before it even begun. It's like the very first time I saw Avengers Endgame all over again, where the movie was over before it even begun, or at least it felt that way, because it was so fast-paced. It's a 3-hour-long movie that does not feel at all like a 3-hour-long movie. But that being said, the tech element has popped up, and we have seeked out a soul corresponding with the tech element. That belonging to that of our tech sorcerer, specifically our better sprocket. I could nickname her that, but you know, we're going to wait for her to become a little bit more involved. We're going to see where this Imaginator is taken design-wise before solidifying a name. So Better Sprocket is a pretty solid name. The only problem with that is the reference to the terrible Sprocket character of Skylanders Giants. Let's take down everything there because I felt like it. And then we're going to fall in because, once again, I felt like it, I suppose. Let's bring this down again because I felt like it. No other reason. Do I really need another reason to do something other than the reason that I felt like doing it? I mean, I suppose so. There's a reason why not to do something that you feel like doing. For example, committing crime. Just because you feel like committing a crime does not mean you should go out of your way to commit a crime. However, something harmless and lawful, more importantly of all, lawful and harmless. If you want to do it, do yourself a favour and go out and do it. Gotta give things a try sometime or another. Speaking of things I really want to give it a try, you know, Ember right there seemed like a lot of fun, and that's because she is a lot of fun. So now, you know, I really feel like playing as Ember right now, but I can't because the element of the area isn't corresponding with her element. This is not the fire. I do have to obey the rules to a certain extent. And one of the rules states that it must 100% video game before tackling the Chaos boss fight into 100% video game. I need exclusive Imaginite pieces that I get from completing Sorcerer Shrine. So in this case, we have Golden Queen and Pit Boss who need to access the shrine. And then we need to switch out for Airstrike because the current element of the area is air. So rules state that I must switch out for a Skylander corresponding to the element of the area. If I were to continue to disobey the rules of the series and just do what I want, like I was talking about doing earlier, then, you know, that would basically be unlawful. And I was saying earlier not to do that, so I'm going to stick to my own rules, quite literally. The rules of the series and the rules of society to dictate that you are to follow laws, do not break them. In other words, do not murder people. Murdering people is not cool, don't do it. Anyway, now we have Pit Boss with a cutscene of his own to enjoy. We are just kind of blazing over how awesome Golden Queen's cutscene was right there because I'm too busy rambling on. Frankly, about God knows what. But that's just the joy of the commentary, the randomness of it all. And there goes that fella right there. Yet again, to no one's surprise, another awesome cutscene with senseis. It's kind of like they know what they're doing, man. They are very experienced and incredibly overpowered Skylanders. That is what makes them senseis in the first place. And speaking of senseis, I have Airstrike to switch out for. The reason why, when we were in the house, I didn't bother switching out for Airstrike at that point in time, despite the area being air. First of all, was because of the theme of the commentary in the first place, the theme being me doing whatever I wanted to do, and what I wanted to do was not waste time by switching out for Airstrike, then switching out for our two sorcerers for the shrine, only to switch back to Airstrike again. That would have been a huge waste of time. I didn't want to do that, so I went in ahead and didn't do that because I didn't want to do it. I mean, I suppose there are all other things that you have to do no matter whether you want to do it or not, like work, for example. If you want to earn money, and money is used for particularly important things like food. Gotta eat and everything. If you don't eat, you die. So you might not want to do work. I'm afraid you're gonna have to do it if you want to live. That being said, we found a Bazooka Imaginator Soul Gem. Let's preview it and then find out what random element was randomly generated as our Bazooka representative. Oh, I like the sound of that. So, our element that's going to be representing the Bazooka Imaginite class is none other than Earth, which means that we've already seeked out every single soul of the Earth element. Boy, that was fast.
Welcome to the Creation Crystal Portal, Master.
Why, thank you. Leon has such a welcoming voice. I feel very welcomed right now. But that being said, we need to switch over to the Bazooka class. I went one past it. Here we are with the Bazookas. I am ready to create a bazooka. Let's do it. So as always, after we've created it, we are going to generate a random design and see what the game comes up with. As soon as we've unlocked more parts and leveled up these Imaginators, we are going to evolve them and create our own designs for them. Hopefully one that looks better than this monstrosity. This is awful. Every conceivable layer of awfulness is seen in this character's face, and I hate it. I hate its face so much I kind of just want to punch it right now, but I won't do that because hurting the Imaginators is the exact opposite of what we want to do in this series, which is level them up, evolve them, and make them better through, you know, actual design work, rather than just letting the game do it for me by picking a random look. And now we have rescued all the eggs. That is fan-freaking-tastic because it gives us a chest additive vault, which will give us some Imaginite gear that can make this Earth Bazooka look a lot better. And frankly, anything other than this would be better. Okay, let's pop up. There you go, that's more like it. We found the next cannon and we have yet another area to be accessing over here at the left. The Secret Island. I suppose they should have called it the Secret Island 2 because this is the second one. Light Skylanders are stronger here, but that doesn't really matter given that we have no light souls that have been seeked out. Okay, let's grab ourselves some treasure, because the more treasure we have, the more upgrades we can acquire for our Earth Bazooka. Very rather convenient that indeed. Now, this is the first time I'm actually recording this series on my 4K television. The thing is huge, and Skylanders Imaginators looks glorious on it. Let's take them all out. I didn't know you had a Terrafin attack. Oh my gosh, first we had better Sprocket, now we have better Terrafin. This is awesome. I don't have a tertiary attack yet. Obviously, I haven't applied it to this Earth Bazooka yet. Boom. Okay, let's take them all out. Because they're going to be out for the count. Then again, I don't have a tertiary attack because I might not have unlocked it for the Bazooka class yet. Obviously, we get one secret technique for defeating the Doomlander, and then we get more secret techniques from putting a Bazooka sensei on the portal. But so far, we've done none of those things. Anyway, we are already at level 4, which is fantastic. We're going to grab ourselves some food because we can and I want to. And Imaginators are stronger here, which means we get to remain for even longer as the Earth Bazooka. Because if there's anything I ever want to do in this game, it is play this ugly piece of trash some more. That's the joy of having Imaginators in this game. Some of them can be real ugly like, but at least every single one is unique. Let's take them out. But as you see, I now have a secret technique, despite me not having it before. So obviously you don't necessarily need to defeat the Doomlander or summon a Bazooka sensei. No, I've where you have some already loaded for you, right off the bat. Okay, here we go. Let's take them out with the might of my better Terrafin. The point is, with the 4K TV I was talking about earlier, it's a smart TV, so obviously it has voice commands. And just now, it was clearly listening to me, because the lights on the bottom of the TV that shows when it's listening to you, to me, lit up. That's probably why you might have noticed a minor stutter in my voice. It came from me worried that the TV was going to like turn itself off or something, but I misrecognized one of my commands. My TV just loves my commentary so much that it can't help but listen to it. Smart TV glory, am I right? Boom! Take him out. Some more. Get him! Get him! Ow. Ow. Or alternatively, just could get hit. Like a lot. Luckily, though, we're about to level up, so that will refill our health bar. Like that. That's what we're talking about, baby! We have a new elemental power available. Interesting. Anyway, for now, what's even more interesting is the might of my secret technique. Yeah, this is going to be a long fight with a character who's not quite yet been buffed up, such as this one, and the fact that we're on a hard difficulty too. Hard difficulty does not help the matter. Die, 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 die. They're just not listening to me, are they? I'm asking them to die, I'm asking them nicely, they just aren't going through with it. It's incredibly rude. Boom, baby! I really wish that dealt more damage. It would have been nice if it dealt more damage, but clearly I'm asking too much. Okay, sweet! At long last, they are down. We definitely know we're not getting the speedrun objective though. Getting this level 100% the first time is near impossible. I'm not certain you even can get every collectible in this level and the speedrun objective all at once. Okay, please tell me this guy's going to give me enough experience to level up, because my Earth Bazooka has seen better days. It was only just born and now it's about ready to die. Sounds about right. So not my Earth Bazooka, anything with my Earth Bazooka, it's too soon. Wow, this guy just really does not want to die. Die, 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 die. Yep. No matter how nicely I say it, or how quickly I say it, no matter the tone or the speed, this guy just still ain't listening. Oh, never mind. Now level me up. Thank you, video game. That is some convenient timing. Now let's give myself some buffs, including for weaponry. Now this Donut Bazooka looks glorious, but what we want here is the Archean Bazooka, because this takes all of the glory that was found with this Donut Bazooka, and it basically multiplies its raw, untamed awesomeness by infinity. You don't get any better than that now, do you? So here we are with some of the headgear. Now we want a combination of what looks good as well as what gives us some good old buffs. Now armor is useful, speed is useful, but this one has the best stats overall. At least, you know, it does now because I said so. Wow, those are some really interesting shoulder guards, but it is definitely an appropriate design choice for our Earth Bazooka. You know, given that it reminds me of the Earth element, these kind of fossils. But we're going to go with that Spirit Warrior shoulders instead because they had much better buffs. It wasn't even a close competition there. So armor, speed, attack. We're actually losing speed by applying these shoulder pads, whereas we don't lose anything from the Spirit Warrior arm guards. So let's go with those instead. But what I really need is some more attack power. So let's see if we can increase that with our leg guards. We can, in fact, yes. So plenty of armor, plenty of attack, plenty of speed. We're going to go with the spiky leg armor for the moment being. And finally, we have our backpack where there's speed and attack, armor and speed. We have one for armor and attack. Yes, we do. Our two most important stats when going against Doomlanders themselves. Okay then everyone, as you can tell I just made a cut right there because something popped up halfway through the Doomlander boss fight and I had to stop the recording and power down my console, meaning that what I've decided to do, what's best for the edit, is that I've gotten back to the start of the Doomlander boss fight where I'm going to be placing it onto the portal for new and improved Earth Bazooka, and they're obviously going to take it out as I was meant to do in the original recording, but unfortunately that one is no longer with us. Like I say, personal matters came up and I had to cut the boss fight short, so I just replayed the level back up to the start of the Bazooka Doomlander boss fight, as you can see right here, but man is my character that much more buffed up. After having acquired all of that ultimate gear for it, mind you. I'm liking how it looks too. I'm not too opposed to this look, but it definitely needs improvement. So we got to make sure we survive this fight, so that then later down the line we can actually improve upon this here design. Let's terrafit our way out of that situation. But yes, that's one of the main reasons why this episode was so delayed, because after I cut the last session incredibly short, and I did that halfway through the recording of this episode. After that, actually playing back through Skylanders, get back up to this point, it's taken me a while to initiate the start of this new session I'm currently conducting. And then until that, I also need to edit all of these videos, to which the rendering and export of a single episode of the series will take one day in of itself, let alone the actual recording for it and uploading of it as well. And the thumbnail design, let's not forget. Okay, let's not get hit by stuff though. Let's not forget to push the good at the game button, otherwise my Earth Bazooka will die, and that will be tragic. So let's press special button on the video game, first skip button, get that necessary deep to do out of here, as I didn't even realise that that was my secret technique, but I'm okay with that secret technique. It's pretty badass, but it reminds me of the Doom's attack, specifically the part where the cooldown seems to be an eternity, so I should really stop using that attack. It leaves me incredibly vulnerable, and the last thing I want to do is be vulnerable and take too many hits all at once. That, my friends, is exactly how I die. But luckily it knocks back the enemies, so the frames that I'm invulnerable, the enemies are also vulnerable, so long as I time the attack correctly. Man, I had to quench my butt for a moment there. Those attacks were awful close, but in the end it didn't even matter because we leveled up and Kaos has been bested once again. But we're not even done with the level yet. Despite having defeated Doomlander, we still have a lot more of a level to go, actually. That's what makes Skylanders one of the more interesting levels of this game. And speaking of what makes things interesting, it has been weeks since the previous episode of Skylanders Imaginators Soul Seekers, and obviously part of that is me having to play through Skylanders twice in order to get back up to this point for the sake of recording of this episode. So yes, it took me a while just to record this one episode in and of itself, having to play through Skylanders twice, mind you. But this is just a series where recording it in bulk has been a lot more time consuming than what was originally intended, time which I do not seem to have at the moment. It's difficult to find it spare amongst the schedule of everything else I have in life. So in other words, I'm gonna feel like it's best for the series to be released on Thursdays only from now on. That's right, we're going to cut down on the videos a little bit, at least in terms of their quantity, so that then I can strip back and focus more on quality instead. So these episodes are only going to be coming out once a week, and that's going to be on Thursdays, much like how this particular episode is coming out on a Thursday. That is no coincidence for release date of this episode. Now let's get these buttons pushed now that I've gotten that news out of the way. Boom, I was about to say let's hit that switch right there, but apparently the video game said no. Okay, there you are, that's more like it. Now that switch was very much pressed upon. Everyone knows the first rules. The moment you see a switch You gotta press it, especially if it's a big red glowy one. Always press the big red glowy switches. Nothing bad could possibly come of that. Right. Anyway, we have Imaginator to be collected from this incredibly tough and very difficult to keep up with challenge that I'm very much 1000% struggling with right now. And I say that without a hint of sarcasm or shadow of doubt. Well, given that we have just bested said challenge, I suppose there was a hint of doubt and sarcasm there. Just a tad though. You know, because I'm never ever sarcastic, because I don't like sarcasm makes up 8% of the personality I possess on this YouTube channel now, is it? Because like I said just now, I am never sarcastic. Boom! Let's take out that gate because it looks to be funny, no other reason. And boom, let's just gather up all of the treasure. Treasure is particularly useful. And now we have a grind challenge where we want to make sure we collect all of these Imaginite chunks, because if we do, we complete the challenge, and we also work our way through some of the bonus objectives. That's going to grant us access to even more Imaginite. That's going to be able to be taken advantage of by the might of our Earth Bazooka, eventually that is. By eventually I mean not right now will we take advantage of said Imaginite, but we will later down the road. So here we are, let's continue grinding out this challenge, where the Dark Element is stronger here, but we haven't yet seeked out the soul of a Dark Elemental character, so we have no character corresponding with that element of the area right now. I would also like a refund on that Imaginite chunk, because I very clearly got through it just fine, and yet the game said no. Anyway, there is a shrine here, so we're going to start with Barbella, acquire the Sky Chief for this awesome and underrated character, mind you. And whatever Sentinel we switch out for last will be the Sentinel that fights the sea monster, but that's going to be done in the next episode, as we're already approaching that 30-minute mark. That was a quick one right now. So we have Barbella here with her epic cutscene that we are not going to skip over because it's way too cool. Like, look at that agility right there. You wouldn't expect that from such a strong character, all of that, you know, gymnastics, flipping type shit, and yet here we are experiencing it all the same. It's a bit like how Barbella defines all kinds of stereotypes you have going into the character. You wouldn't expect her to be awesome based on the lazier design, but the gameplay more than makes up for it. That being said, our next Sentinel is going to be Ember, who is going to buff up our Imaginators, as this is the first time she is being utilised on this profile. We're also going to, well, we would get a secret technique if it was the first Sentinel that we summoned in, but it was not. Instead, we just get the buff, which increases our Imaginator level to 24. Now let's obviously complete the shrine, and that's where we'll conclude the episode. But as always, we're going to let this cutscene play out as Ember laughs in our face, apparently. They say you should never throw your swords, and yet Ember is here throwing it all the same. It's like Leonardo throwing it off his opponents in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by throwing his sword of all things. Now, that's a really great way to disarm an opponent by disarming their mind and doing the unexpected before the battle's even begun. Because before the battle of the fists comes the battle of the mind. I'm pretty sure that's one of our Sensei's one-liners, but which Sensei it belongs to, I have no clues. So here we go, let's... Ultimate selfie time! You've got to take a selfie mid-attack, that's what we're talking about. But we're also talking right now about the end of the episode. So without further ado, let's roll the outro and leave the evil sea monster for the next episode. I cannot, in good conscience, end off this video without first thanking all of my incredible channel members whose continued support help make these videos possible. Without them, these videos would be near impossible to make, so from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate every last one of them. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, there are plenty of options on screen now to explore, and please consider subscribing to keep up to date with all my content. On that note, this video is coming to an end, so thank you so much as always for watching. Until the next video arises, peace!